There comes a time in life when silence becomes your loudest power. You've been explaining yourself for too long, telling people what's hurting you, what's missing, what you're building, what you're praying for. And still, they don't understand. Not because your words aren't clear, but because not everyone deserves access to your journey. Let me ask you something. How many times have you cried your heart out to the wrong ears? How many times have your dreams been crushed because you gave someone a front row seat to a show they had no business attending? It's time. It's time to protect your peace, guard your silence, and let your results do the talking. You don't need to tell the world what you're going through. You need to show them what you've overcome. There is a power in silence that many overlook because they mistake noise for strength. In a world where everyone is shouting their struggles, broadcasting their failures, and constantly explaining their every move, silence becomes the most misunderstood tool. But the truth is, silence is not emptiness or weakness. It is a deliberate choice, a shield forged by those who understand that speaking less often protects more. The wise recognize that words have weight and that not every burden deserves to be carried publicly. When you choose silence, you are not hiding. You are conserving your energy, your spirit, and your focus. Silence demands discipline, but it also commands respect because it signals control over yourself and your circumstances. The wise know when to hold their tongue and when to speak with purpose. They understand that every word carries consequences, and by withholding unnecessary explanations, they safeguard their dreams from sabotage, judgment, and premature exposure. In the chaos of life, silence acts as a sanctuary where you can process pain, heal wounds, and build strength. It is the pause before the storm, the quiet that breeds clarity and resilience. People who rush to explain everything often find themselves more vulnerable, caught in a cycle of needing validation that never truly comes. When you speak less about your struggles, you force yourself to wrestle with them internally, transforming weakness into wisdom. Silence becomes the foundation of your resilience. It is within that quiet space that you learn your true power, discover your limits, and define your purpose. This is not about shutting people out or ignoring reality. It is about prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being by controlling who witnesses your battles. The wise protect their inner sanctum fiercely, understanding that peace is often found in what remains unsaid. To master silence is to master yourself. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your story. The wise understand this intuitively. Sharing your struggles indiscriminately opens doors to critics, doubters, and those who feed on your vulnerability. When you speak less, you reveal less. And in doing so, you deny negativity the ammunition it needs to attack your confidence and derail your progress. Silence is an invisible fortress, shielding your mind from toxic voices and unnecessary opinions. It is a boundary, a declaration that your life is not a public spectacle, but a private journey. People who understand the power of silence choose their confidants carefully, sharing only with those who uplift, encourage, and genuinely support their growth. Silence is a filter that helps you protect your energy from those who drain it. It is also a form of strength that confuses the enemies of your dreams, because they can't predict your moves or exploit your vulnerabilities when you refuse to broadcast them. Silence also amplifies your actions. When you stop explaining, people begin to notice what you do rather than what you say. The wise know that words can be empty promises, but results speak volumes. Silence shifts the focus from your narrative to your achievements. It creates anticipation and respect because people start to watch quietly, waiting to see what you will accomplish rather than listening to what you claim you will do. The power of silence is that it allows your work to become your voice, your proof, and your legacy. You don't need to convince anyone of your value. Your silent persistence will do that for you. It is in the quiet that your discipline is built, your dreams are nurtured, and your victories are forged. The wise use silence as a tool to cultivate patience, allowing time to reveal the truth of their efforts without interference or distraction. Finally, silence is a statement of self-control. In moments of struggle or conflict, the temptation to explain or justify can be overwhelming, but the wise resist this urge because they understand that every word spoken in haste can weaken their position. Silence demands strength, the strength to resist the impulse to defend yourself, the strength to trust your journey without needing approval, and the strength to endure hardship without announcing it to the world. It is a powerful declaration that you are the master of your story, not a victim of circumstance. Choosing silence means you are confident enough to wait, patient enough to endure, and strong enough to stand alone if necessary. The weapon of silence cuts deeper than any argument, disarms negativity, and protects your soul. It is the wisdom of those who know that sometimes the loudest message is the one never spoken. There is a powerful truth in the idea that what you don't expose to the world remains untouched by its chaos. People can only influence, distract, or destroy what they are allowed to see or touch. When you keep your life's battles, your dreams, and your deepest struggles locked away, you protect them from contamination, whether it be doubt, judgment, or toxic opinions. Too often, people allow others to invade their sacred space simply because they feel the need to share every detail, hoping for understanding or sympathy. But the harsh reality is that not everyone has your best interest at heart. By limiting access to your inner world, you deny negativity the opportunity to infect your spirit or derail your progress. This form of self-protection is not about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about safeguarding the purity of your vision. When you keep certain things private, you create a barrier that filters out harmful influences and preserves the integrity of your journey. The energy you guard by restricting access to your struggles becomes fuel for your growth. It's easy to become drained when you constantly battle external opinions and unsolicited advice. Every time you expose a weakness, you risk allowing others to define your narrative and weaken your resolve. But when you keep your challenges away from prying eyes, you maintain control over your story. This control is vital because it allows you to heal and grow without interruption. People who have mastered this understand that vulnerability is powerful, but it must be shared selectively. The wise know that their personal battles are not public entertainment or a way to seek approval. Instead, they cultivate resilience quietly, focusing their energy inward rather than dispersing it through constant explanations or defenses. Protecting what is sacred means keeping it out of reach from those who would contaminate it with negativity. Privacy becomes the fortress where your dreams are nurtured. When others have no access to your plans, your progress becomes a quiet force to be reckoned with. This invisibility frustrates those who try to predict or control your next move, because when people can't see your foundation, they can't tear it down. This is why silence and secrecy are not signs of weakness, but of strategic strength. You learn to trust the process without needing external validation at every step. By not giving people access to your inner life, you limit the power of doubt and criticism to disrupt your focus. The less others know, the less they can plant seeds of fear or uncertainty in your mind. This protective boundary shields you from the contamination of negativity and preserves your ability to move forward with clarity and confidence. When you hold your life close, you set a boundary that demands respect. People naturally respect what they cannot control or manipulate. Giving others too much access often leads to unwanted interference, whether it's unsolicited advice, gossip, or emotional manipulation. But by keeping your life guarded, you teach those around you that your journey is not a subject for debate or judgment. This boundary is a form of self-love and self-respect. It tells the world that you value your peace more than approval and that your growth is your responsibility alone. When people realize they can't contaminate your path, they either step back or show their true colors, making it easier for you to decide who deserves your time and trust. This boundary protects not only your progress, but your mental and emotional well-being. Finally, controlling access to your life empowers you to define your own success. When others cannot contaminate your journey, you become the sole author of your story. Your dreams remain pure, your focus sharp, and your spirit unbroken. This sense of ownership is essential for true growth because it allows you to pursue your vision without distraction or interference. You learn to rely on your inner compass rather than external approval. By denying others the chance to contaminate your progress, you create a space where your potential can flourish undisturbed. This is the wisdom of those who choose their confidence carefully, share selectively, and guard their lives fiercely. They understand that protection is not isolation, it is preservation. And it is the key to reaching heights that others only dream of. Energy is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Yet it is also one of the most easily wasted. Every word you spend explaining yourself to others costs you a portion of your emotional and mental strength. Often, People feel obligated to justify their choices, defend their dreams, or recount their struggles to those around them, hoping for understanding or approval. But in reality, this constant need to explain drains your energy and leaves you vulnerable to fatigue, doubt, and distraction. Explaining demands emotional labor, patience, and vulnerability, and when done repeatedly, it saps the very power you need to push forward. The truth is, not everyone will understand your journey, nor should they. Your energy is precious, and spending it on explanations that often fall on deaf ears is an expense you cannot afford. Instead, guard your energy like the treasure it is and direct it toward action, growth, and healing. When you make it a habit to stop explaining yourself, you reclaim control over your narrative and your energy. The need to explain often comes from a place of insecurity, wanting others to validate your decisions or acknowledge your worth. But true power comes when you no longer seek permission or understanding from others to live your truth. By conserving your energy, you are freeing yourself from the exhausting cycle of approval seeking. This liberation allows you to focus on what truly matters, your progress and your peace. It takes discipline to resist the urge to explain, but it is a discipline worth cultivating. When you stop spending energy on justifications, you open up space for creativity, productivity, and clarity. You become less reactive and more intentional, channeling your power where it counts. Your explanations are often misunderstood as a sign of strength or honesty, but excessive explaining can be a mask for doubt and confusion. When you feel compelled to explain everything, you give away your power because you let others set the terms of your story. It is easy to get caught in a loop of defending your choices, clarifying your intentions, and responding to criticism, but this cycle is exhausting and ultimately unproductive. Energy is finite, and where you spend it will dictate your future. Wise people learn to protect their energy by choosing when and how to communicate. Sometimes silence or a simple statement is more powerful than a long explanation. Knowing when to speak and when to hold back is an art that preserves your emotional strength and keeps your focus sharp. Your energy deserves to be invested in creation, not defense. Stopping the urge to explain also means trusting yourself deeply. It requires confidence to stand firm in your decisions without needing to justify them repeatedly. When you trust your path, your instincts, and your goals, you don't waste energy convincing others of your worth or direction. This self-trust becomes a source of strength that shields you from distractions and negativity. The less you explain, the more you demonstrate your conviction through your action. People begin to respect you not because you told them what you were doing, but because they see the results of your focus and dedication. Your energy flows into building your vision rather than convincing skeptics. This shift changes your entire approach to life, from reactive to proactive, from defensive to empowered. When you prioritize your energy, you prioritize your success. Finally, remember that your energy is a currency you cannot afford to squander on endless explanations. Every time you explain yourself, you give away time and mental space that could be better spent on growth, healing, and achieving your goals. The people who truly matter in your life will understand or accept your silence, and those who don't are not worth your energy. When you stop explaining, you make room for peace and productivity. You create a life where your actions speak louder than words, and your results shine brighter than your justifications. Energy spent wisely is energy invested in your future. Protect it fiercely, and you will find that the need to explain fades away, replaced by a quiet confidence that commands respect and propels you forward. Your vision is the essence of who you are. It's a blueprint of your future and the reason you keep pushing forward when everything feels heavy. Protecting your vision isn't just important. It's a matter of survival. Imagine your vision as if it were the air you breathe, the last breath you can take in a room full of smoke. When you guard it fiercely, you ensure that no one's doubts, criticisms, or distractions can choke it out. The world will try to steal your vision through negativity, impatience, or jealousy. Many will try to convince you that your dream is impossible or unrealistic, but your job is to protect it like it's your lifeline. Every great achievement begins with someone who refused to let go, no matter how hard the battle. Your vision deserves the same unwavering protection. It requires vigilance, courage, and a willingness to fight through the storm so that your dream can breathe and grow. Protecting your vision means understanding that not everyone deserves to know it. Sharing your deepest dreams prematurely opens the door to criticism and sabotage. When you expose your vision too early, you risk giving power to those who don't believe in you or who want to see you fail. These people can contaminate your thoughts with doubt and fear, causing you to question your own path. You must be selective with your trust. Your vision is sacred and should only be shared with those who genuinely support your growth and encourage your purpose. The wise keep their vision close, nurturing it quietly while the world watches in silence. This kind of protection is about more than secrecy. It's about preserving the purity and strength of your purpose so it can survive the harsh realities of the outside world. Guarding your vision also means being relentless in your focus and discipline. Every distraction or temptation that pulls you away from your goals is a threat to your vision's survival. Protecting your vision requires saying no to people, habits, and situations that don't align with your purpose. It demands sacrifice and unwavering dedication. There will be times when you feel isolated or misunderstood, but remember that protecting your vision is not about pleasing everyone. It's about honoring yourself and your future. Stay disciplined even when the progress seems slow or invisible. The smallest daily steps toward your dream build momentum and strengthen your resolve. Like oxygen feeding a flame, your consistent effort nourishes your vision and keeps it alive through the darkest moments. Protecting your vision means being prepared to defend it against negativity and doubt, both from others and within yourself. The mind is often the greatest battlefield where fear and insecurity try to suffocate your dreams. Negative thoughts can be as toxic as external criticism, and protecting your vision means guarding your mind fiercely. Fill your thoughts with belief, hope, and determination. Reject doubts and lies that tell you your vision is impossible or unworthy. Surround yourself with positivity and people who inspire and uplift you. Mental protection is as vital as physical boundaries, because what you believe about your vision will determine its outcome. A protected mind is a powerful mind, capable of pushing through challenges and staying committed, even when the world tries to convince you to give up. Finally, protecting your vision like it's your last breath means never giving up, no matter the cost. There will be moments when the pressure to quit feels overwhelming, when failure seems certain, and when loneliness accompanies your journey. But your vision deserves every ounce of your strength, faith, and resilience. Like breathing in your last moments, hold on to your dream with everything you have. Fight through setbacks, rise after every fall, and keep your eyes locked on the future you see in your mind. Protection is not passive, it's active, aggressive, and persistent. It requires that you stay committed when no one else believes, that you keep moving forward when the path seems impossible. Protecting your vision means valuing it so deeply that nothing, not fear, criticism, or failure, can take it from you. It's the breath of life that sustains your journey and the legacy you will leave behind. There is immense power in invisibility, not the kind that isolates, but the kind that protects. When people cannot see your plans, your struggles, or your progress, they lose the ability to attack or undermine you. The truth is, many of the obstacles you face are created not by circumstance, but by the reactions and interference of others. When you live transparently, sharing every detail of your life, you give your enemies and doubters a clear target. But when you keep your journey private, you become untouchable. They can't shoot what they can't see. This means that your dreams and efforts remain safe from criticism, sabotage, and negativity. The wise understand that not everyone deserves to witness their process, especially the vulnerable parts. Keeping your vision and struggles out of sight is a strategy for survival. It's a way to keep your enemies confused and your spirit strong. The less they see, the less they can attack. This principle applies to more than just external threats. It's also about controlling the narrative inside your own mind. When you make your challenges public, you allow doubt to seep in from all directions. People's opinions, criticisms, and disbelief can plant seeds of fear and hesitation. But when you shield your journey, you protect your confidence and focus. You become a master of your own story instead of letting others dictate it. Invisibility grants you the freedom to grow without the weight of judgment. It creates space to heal, improve, and plan your next move in peace. This kind of hidden work is where true transformation happens. You don't owe the world explanations or progress updates. Your journey is yours alone, and shielding it from view preserves your strength and momentum. When people can't see your moves, they lose the chance to interfere with your progress. It's like playing chess in the shadows while your opponents try to guess your next step. This strategic invisibility frustrates those who thrive on controlling or predicting your actions. They may try to watch, listen, or guess, but without clear targets, their efforts are wasted. This advantage allows you to operate without distraction or interference, making your progress smoother and more focused. You can adapt, pivot, and grow in ways that surprise others. This hidden strength keeps your vision alive and your momentum unstoppable. The less you reveal, the more control you have over your journey. When you live this way, you become a force that cannot be stopped because your path is your secret weapon. Invisibility is also a tool to preserve your emotional energy. When people can't see your struggles or setbacks, they cannot use them against you. Many people unintentionally or intentionally use others' vulnerabilities as weapons to hurt or control. By keeping your challenges private, you deny them that power. You protect your heart from unnecessary pain, your mind from toxic influences, and your spirit from discouragement. This emotional armor is essential because it allows you to face difficulties with a clear mind and a strong heart. When your struggles remain unseen, you maintain dignity and control. You decide when, how, and to whom you reveal your vulnerabilities. This selective exposure is a form of self-respect that keeps your energy intact and your focus sharp. It's the secret strength of those who refuse to be victims of circumstance. Lastly, embracing invisibility doesn't mean you walk alone. It means you walk wisely. You choose when to share and with whom, ensuring your vision is supported and not sabotaged. You build a circle of trust that respects your journey and uplifts your spirit. By controlling what others see, you maintain power over your destiny. This selective sharing allows your vision to grow in the shadows until it is strong enough to shine brightly without fear of attack. When the time is right, your success will speak louder than words and your vision will be undeniable. Until then, remember, they can't shoot what they can't see. Your hidden strength is your greatest weapon, protecting your dreams and fueling your rise. Guard it well, and no one can stop you. Growth is rarely comfortable, and one of the harshest realities of personal elevation is the loneliness that comes with it. When you start to rise above where you once were, you naturally begin to separate from people, habits, and environments that no longer serve your progress. This separation is not a punishment or a failure of relationships, but a necessary process for transformation. Just like a seed must break through the soil alone to become a towering tree, your journey to growth requires moments of solitude and distance. Elevation demands that you shed old attachments, limiting beliefs, and even friendships that keep you anchored to a past version of yourself. This separation often feels isolating because you are moving into new territory where fewer people can follow or understand your vision. The loneliness is a sign that you are evolving. And while it may be painful, it is essential for the strength and clarity you will gain. Loneliness in growth is also a test of your commitment to yourself and your dreams. When you elevate, distractions and influences that once seemed harmless become obstacles to your progress. You start to see clearly who aligns with your new level of ambition and who does not. This awareness forces you to make difficult decisions about who stays in your life and who must be left behind. Not everyone will celebrate your rise. Some will resist it out of fear or jealousy. Accepting this truth is crucial because it helps you focus on the company that nurtures your growth rather than hinders it. The loneliness that comes from separating is not emptiness. It is the clearing of space for genuine support and connection. It's a signal that you are shedding the old to make room for the new and more aligned relationships that your elevation demands. Separation during growth also means learning to rely more on your inner strength and intuition. When the familiar support systems fall away or change, you are left to trust yourself more deeply. This can feel lonely because it requires facing uncertainty without the usual external reassurances. But it is in this space of solitude that your resilience and clarity grow the strongest. You learn to listen to your own voice above the noise of doubt and distraction. Elevation requires you to be your own anchor, to cultivate self-trust, and to hold fast to your vision even when the path is unclear. The loneliness is temporary but necessary. It forges the inner power that will sustain you through the challenges ahead. This self-reliance is one of the greatest gifts growth offers, turning isolation into a source of empowerment rather than fear. Another aspect of gross loneliness is the change in perspective it brings. As you rise, you begin to see the world differently. The values, priorities, and goals that once shaped your life shift dramatically. This shift creates a gap between you and those who have not yet evolved or who choose to remain where they are. You may find it harder to relate to old friends or even family members because your experiences and outlook have expanded. This widening gap can intensify feelings of loneliness because you crave understanding and connection, but realize that not everyone can meet you where you are now. Recognizing this is a part of the growth process. You learn to cherish the relationships that grow with you, while gracefully releasing those that no longer serve your journey. This selective connection is vital to maintaining your elevation and avoiding the distractions that come with trying to fit back into old molds. Finally, gross loneliness is a sign that you are on the right path because true elevation is rarely crowded. The higher you climb, the fewer people you'll find at your level. This scarcity is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural consequence of moving beyond the ordinary. It means you are breaking new ground, creating your own path, and living a life that requires courage and independence. The solitude you experience is the price of greatness, a space to reflect, plan, and refine your vision without compromise. It allows you to build a foundation necessary for sustained success and fulfillment. Embracing this loneliness with grace and understanding transforms it from a burden into a powerful companion on your journey. Growth demands separation because only by standing apart can you truly elevate. There is a common misconception that vulnerability requires us to expose every wound, every hardship, and every moment of pain to the world. But the truth is, you owe no one a tour of your struggle. Your pain, your battles, and your darkest moments are not public property or entertainment. They belong to you and you alone. It's natural to want validation or empathy from others, but that does not mean you must display every part of your journey for approval or sympathy. Struggles are deeply personal, and sharing them indiscriminately can leave you feeling exposed, drained, and misunderstood. Protecting the privacy of your struggle is a form of strength, not weakness. It shows that you understand the value of your energy and that you prioritize healing over approval. Your story is yours to tell when, how, and if you choose. Keeping your struggles private also means preserving your dignity and power. When you share every detail of your hardship, you risk becoming vulnerable to judgment, pity, or unsolicited advice that can derail your progress. People who have not walked your path often cannot grasp the complexity or depth of your pain. Their reactions, even if well-intentioned, might not align with what you need. By refusing to give a tour of your struggle, you take back control of your narrative. You decide what to share and what to keep sacred. This selective sharing is not about hiding, but about protecting your inner strength and focusing your energy on growth and recovery. The less you expose, the stronger you become, because you are not giving your power away to outside opinions. You owe no one an explanation of how you got through your struggles or why you're still fighting. Many people expect others to perform their pain for them, to make it visible and relatable in ways that can be consumed or judged. But your healing process is not a performance. It doesn't have to be witnessed or validated by others to be real or meaningful. When you understand that you don't owe anyone a detailed map of your hardships, you free yourself from the pressure of proving your resilience or worth. You stop explaining yourself and start focusing on rebuilding, learning, and becoming stronger in silence. This quiet strength is often invisible to the world, but is the foundation of true transformation. It's the power of standing tall without broadcasting every battle. There's also a profound sense of freedom that comes from not having to show your struggle. When you stop giving tours of your pain, you liberate yourself from the expectations of others. You no longer carry the weight of other people's reactions or judgments. This freedom allows you to heal at your own pace and on your own terms. It gives you space to rebuild without distractions or pressure. Not everyone needs to know your story, and not every chapter of your life is meant for public consumption. Keeping some parts of your journey private is a way to honor your process and protect your emotional and mental health. This protection creates a safe inner space where you can gather strength and courage to face the future, unburdened by the demands of others. Lastly, remember that your struggle is a powerful part of your story, but it is not your entire story. You are more than your hardships, more than your pain. You owe no one a detailed tour of your wounds because your life is about healing, growth, and triumph. By holding your struggle close and sharing it only when you're ready, you safeguard your hope and resilience. You become a beacon of strength, not because you broadcast your pain, but because you embody the victory of rising above it. Your journey is yours to cherish and protect. You owe no one the burden of witnessing every hardship. Instead, focus on becoming the person who overcame it, the person who thrives despite it, and the person who chooses peace over pain. Remember this, your struggle is sacred and it does not need a crowd to witness its weight. You carry it with quiet courage in the depths of your soul, where only you have the right to stand guard. Protect your story, honor your pain, and know that the greatest victories are often won in silence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your scars, because those scars are the proof of your strength, your endurance, and your will to rise. Hold your head high, keep your heart fierce, and let your life be the testament of your triumph, unseen, unshaken, unstoppable. God bless you all for walking this journey with me. Thank you for your time, your heart, and your hunger for growth. Stay tuned, because the path to greatness is never done. And I'm here to keep bringing you the motivation you need to keep fighting, keep believing, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. This is just the beginning. Keep your vision protected, your spirit unbreakable, and your dreams alive. God bless you, and thank you.